definitely in terms of political issues, I feel like getting back to the idea of one man, one vote, or one person, one vote, to be more inclusive. I think that we've kind of strayed from that in recent years, especially given that the executive branch has been given more power over the years. And I think that what 2020 and future generations could benefit from is that going back to where the people had an effect on the government, like an actual tangible effect on the government that they felt represented their wishes and values. It's important to me because I think, especially recently, people kind of feel like everything in the government's corrupt, that they have no control over anything that's going on. And in a lot of ways, they're right, with cases like Citizens United where it is corrupt. They don't have any sort of way of affecting what happens with campaign finance anymore, with campaigns in general, which means that they're not going to elect the candidates that people actually want. And so I think that is super important now because of the idea that the government is corrupt. We should be able to debunk that as much as possible, so that people actually feel like they can have an effect on their government and their government is actually representing themselves.
So in 2020, I would like to see more, like, people to have more opinions based on not what everyone else wants them to think, because generally what I see is that even though someone has an opinion that they think is correct personally, everyone else is like, oh, that's wrong, oh, that's very, like, that makes you a bad person, and that kind of makes them shift over to one side. This is important to me personally because, like, in middle school, the 2016 elections were a pretty big thing, and, like, everyone was supporting the Democratic Party. I was like, and they were like saying a lot of stuff about how, oh, Trump is terrible, he's such a terrible person. And I like sort of supported him in that because I didn't like it when everyone just shows like the absolute hate towards one person. And then like it sort of turned into like a mini war because everyone's like, oh, you're a racist, oh, like you shouldn't be saying those things. And that's the reason that I want to see that change this year.
Climate change, I think, is an issue that definitely needs to be addressed. All of those things I feel, need to be addressed not only by the representatives in DC, but also addressed by the world community too. I think, when I'm thinking about issues like this, I think about my children, my two daughters, and their future. What kind of world do I want them to grow up in? I want them to be able to enjoy the natural beauty of the world, to be able to travel to places across the globe and still, be able to see certain types of animal species, or be able to go to beaches and, island nations, and just be able to have like a healthy, livable planet when they become adults.
Probably the main change I would want to see is environmental changes, like especially with like the increasing effects of global warming. Like I want to see more like kind of regulation in terms of the amount of greenhouse gases that we are producing. Like I think we should just take care of our surroundings and treat everything like how it should be treated and not try to like trash places up. So I think it's really important that we respect where we are.
Our generation, Generation Z, is the most progressive generation to ever live on this earth. And so I know that given some time, we can grow older, to get jobs in the real world and actually make a huge difference, and kind of lose that older mindset of focusing on what divides us rather than what we find in agreement upon us, if that makes sense.